I would just say respect and keeping our friendship, kind of between us.
Yeah.
We don't share. This is what I do with my best friend is a dentist, in Miami. So I don't share her secrets. I don't treat any of my friends any differently than Beyonce and Kelly. We just honor each other's hearts.
The word on these streets is that with everything happening with Jay-Z right now, Beyonce is practically alone in her corner. But thank heavens for Michelle Williams. Sources say Michelle has become Queen Bey's emergency contact because this situation is becoming absolutely overwhelming. And trust me, Bey is going to need all the support she can get because Jane Doe just dropped some new bombshells about what allegedly happened on that horrifying night when she was just 13 years old. By now, you've probably heard that Jay-Z's name got dragged into one of those lawsuits filed against Diddy by a woman claiming this incident happened when she was barely a teenager.
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
Naturally, this whole mess has been putting the Carters through absolute hell, given how serious these allegations are. Earlier, Beyonce and Jay-Z tried to handle people constantly connecting them to Diddy, and sources spilled that Beyonce was standing by her man, saying, Jay-Z has ordered his lawyers to go after anyone trying to lump him in with Diddy with false accusations. That's why he threatened to sue Piers Morgan for giving a platform to someone spreading those baseless claims. The source added, he's not going to let it slide. Beyonce is behind him 100% and trusts him completely. She has been very quick to say that they will take on this BS together, and he couldn't be more grateful. But honey, this was way before the lawsuit that mentioned Jay-Z, and based on these latest reports, this lawsuit has turned Beyonce's world upside down. Now, sources say Jay-Z has been reassuring his wife that these allegations are completely false, and he's absolutely furious that his friendship with Diddy has dragged him into this mess. But let me tell you, this hasn't stopped Beyonce from feeling completely mortified, devastated, and horrified by these allegations. That's why she's turning to the few people she knows she can trust, and Michelle Williams is at the top of that list. Let's talk about that Destiny's Child sisterhood for a minute. Michelle and Beyonce have kept their friendship rock solid despite everything that went down during their group days. Back in 2021, Michelle opened up to US Weekly about maintaining close friendships with her former bandmates, saying, I would just say respect and keeping our friendship kind of between us. We don't share secrets. I don't treat any of my friends any differently than Beyonce and Kelly. We just honor each other's hearts, really. Around that time, Michelle also addressed how the media was dying to create this dramatic narrative about jealousy and catfights, but she wasn't having it. She spilled that while they had disagreements like any friends or coworkers do, they always maintained deep respect for each other as artists and as women. She revealed, 20 years later, we still share the gift of friendship. Maybe it was because of our friendship, maybe it was because of the success, but mostly it was just our destiny to sing and perform together. Destiny. See what I did there? She continued, I know that's true because it never really felt like work, even though we were investing every minute, every thought, every ounce of our being into the group. Our connection is real, and it's brought life to me in some of my darkest moments. And still, even living the most absolute dream, I was living with two of the most amazing women as co-workers and best friends through pitch dark moments. And honey, that bond between Beyonce and Michelle was on full display just a few weeks ago when Bey and Kelly Rowland reunited with Michelle at the opening night of Death Becomes Her. You know, that fabulous Broadway musical based on the iconic film. But let me spill this fresh tea. Beyonce has reportedly been leaning hard on Michelle during these trying times because this whole situation is becoming absolutely unbearable. Sources say Bey has spent the last few days in tears, and Michelle has been right there by her side, praying with her daily as she weighs all her options. According to insiders, Michelle has always been Beyonce's most spiritual friend, and she helped her get through the Beyonce hate train in the early 2000s when LaToya and Latavia left the group. She's apparently one of the first people Bey confided in, and they've been speaking every evening when Michelle has time. And trust me, Bey needs that shoulder to lean on because this case isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Here's the latest update on the case involving Jay-Z. Jane Doe recently sat down with NBC and shared her story again. She explained that back in 2000, she was living in Rochester, New York, and at 13, attending the VMAs was her dream. A friend, who's sadly no longer with us, drove her there. She admitted she didn't have a ticket and watched some of the show on a jumbotron outside, but then she started chatting up limo drivers hoping to score a ticket. That's when one of Diddy's drivers allegedly told her she was what Diddy was looking for. After about 20 minutes in the limo, she says she arrived at this massive white residence with a gated U-shaped driveway where she claims she chatted with celebrities.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper, because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk about.
According to her story, she was offered a drink that made her feel woozy and lightheaded, like she needed to lie down. She says she walked down a hallway with several rooms and entered what seemed to be an empty bedroom to rest. Just a large bed, no other furniture, TV, or anything else. Now, here's where it gets really serious. She repeated the allegations from the lawsuit about Jay and Diddy's alleged actions while a female celebrity watched. She claims she managed to escape to a gas station where she called her dad, and they drove home. But here's the twist. NBC did some digging to verify these claims, and honey, they found some major inconsistencies. First off, the woman said her father picked her up after the alleged incident, but when NBC spoke to him, he said he doesn't remember that at all. Then she claims she talked to Benji Madden at the after party, but his rep confirmed he wasn't even in New York at the time. Plus, photos from that evening show Jay and Diddy at a completely different location than what she described, though their whereabouts for the entire evening aren't clear. Despite these inconsistencies, Jane Doe is standing firm with her allegations. She told NBC that just because there are some fuzzy details in her account of something that happened 24 years ago, it doesn't mean her claims are false. She opened up about her life now. She's a mother of two, served less than a year in the Army National Guard, left as a private, got her high school diploma, and even earned her Christian counseling certification to help others who've been through similar experiences. Now, her lawyer, Tony Busby, is not backing down either. He's saying, Jane Doe's case was referred to our firm by another who vetted it before sending it to us. Our client remains fiercely adamant that what she has stated is true to the best of her memory. He added that they're still gathering evidence, and get this, she's even agreed to take a polygraph test. Tony said he's never had a client suggest that before. He also revealed this heartbreaking detail. This has been extremely distressing for her to the point she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to the stress. Tony dropped another bombshell. They actually reached out to Jay-Z's team first, offering to discuss the claims privately. But instead of taking that route, Jay's lawyers filed a public lawsuit accusing Tony personally of extortion. Tony clapped back, saying they never even asked for money. He emphasized that at least 3 lawyers from their firm interviewed the client before filing the amended complaint naming Jay-Z, and she signed 2 separate affidavits, staying absolutely firm about her claims. But honey, Jay-Z is not having any of it. His lawyer fired back, saying, "It is stunning that a lawyer would not only file such a serious complaint without proper vetting, but would make things worse by further peddling this false story in the press." Jay-Z himself released a statement that had everyone shook. Today's investigative report proves this attorney Busby filed a false complaint against me in the pursuit of money and fame. The incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory. This was over before it began. Jay-Z and his team are now asking the court to dismiss the case and discipline Tony Busby and all the lawyers who filed the complaint. But here's another interesting twist. Jay's lawyer is now trying to distance him from Diddy, claiming they were never as close as people think. According to him, their relationship was purely professional. Just like in all professions, people know each other at the music awards, they support each other. That's just how professions work. There is no closer association between any of them. That's also a matter of fiction. He doesn't know anything about the charges or allegations against Diddy. But child, let me tell you, they're not fooling anyone with that story because the receipts definitely prove otherwise. And now, with Beyonce reportedly going through such a hard time, some people are throwing shade her way too, suggesting she might be just as involved with Diddy's alleged crimes as her husband. Others are claiming Jay-Z controls her every move and she doesn't have a choice. Listen, I don't know what to believe anymore, but I can tell you one thing. This situation is about to get even messier, so Michelle better be ready to keep supporting her friend through these dark times. But what do you think about Beyonce turning to Michelle for comfort? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this tea is getting hotter by the minute. Hotter by the